What up, YouTube universe? Bring in the new year with the new cheer. How y'all doing out there? Today we talking about, I gotta stay on my mission, and the mission is, why is it that Black women are the lowest to get married? And I think I talked about like two videos ago about how things have changed. We got to go back in time where it was very prevalent for the Black community. And what I mean by that is the Black builders of America, which I am part of with my family, both sides. The reason why it's not prevalent to get married, because I'm going to just keep it all the way real. The modern day Black women of today's society only look at marriage as almost braggadocious, something to brag about, not really to take serious. So it's almost like a bucket list. They'd rather be baddies than be married. Does that make sense? Because they don't follow marriage vows. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you get some that would tell you, what a. All right, YouTube universe. Okay. Now, back to what I was saying. The principles of marriage was real. It was real back in the days. Now these days, it's a fictitious, freaking talking point for Black women, in particular. And I know a lot of people wondering, because I had somebody in my comments about 2 videos ago asking me why I'm always using sisters who are mixed or whatever. And it's still Black women. Anywho, The point is not to get away from the factor of what has happened since then, because of this gentrification and the feminist movement was fed to the black community, the black builders of America, which I am come from. It has divided black men and black women, because as black men, this is the reason why it's dividing, because you have a lot of black women getting on YouTube or Twitter or social media, period. And they're like, damn, well, where all the black men at? Well, if you really look at it, when you stuck in your ways, men like myself, have a career and doing things, we not gonna waste our time with somebody who has attitude. Okay. Especially if you've seen wives in your life. If you're a man like yourself and you and myself, and you seen a real housewife, and you're like, well, damn, they don't even do half the stuff that this beautiful woman does. So now you kind of look at the whole dating market as, damn, no wonder y'all get the lowest of the low. And out of four, one out of four, one out of four black women get married to anybody. So that's a statistic that's true. And their marital divorce rates is up there with white folks, white women. And you wonder why black men get non-black women. It's because we're not trying to deal with someone that's combative when we come back home, when we're paying bills, when we're out here keeping it real. What women have to understand is they have to calm that goofiness they got inside them down, because being a baddie ain't gonna help you get married. So y'all rather be a baddie than be married. And that's why it's a lot of confusion going on. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, take my word for it. When you get old enough and that wall already hit you and stuff, you're gonna realize you lonely. You can take it to the grave if you like. It don't matter. The truth is the truth. That's why black women are the lowest to be married, because they rather be a baddie than be married. They don't have the uh, innovation of relationships with black men. That's gone. That's long gone. That's like back in the early 1900s, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's over with. And like I said, the gentrification, the being the feminist and all of that, that destroyed a lot of future relationships, because again, us black men, you know, hey, I'm about to deal with this. I can talk to somebody non-black with less, you know, uh, deflections, less deflections. So don't get me wrong. Have I ever dated black women? Of course I have. Some of my first girls I've ever dated in my life was black, but I know what I'm talking about. You understand that? So when it comes down to the point, and what I'm making is, the future is not looking good for basically modern day black women, because they were fed these lies and never was taught to be a housewife. And but yet then still you see them on this internet or social media, period, spewing negativity, saying, things that when black man really don't even care. He like, you get somebody else, you got the passport bros out there, it's some real major players that, we not really worried about y'all hooting and hollering over there. We just not, you know, uh, with somebody dating, we not, y'all more care about what we doing than what y'all doing. We don't really care. Y'all more interested in who we're dating than who y'all dating. And I see social media try to make it as black men be upset. No, we do not. We do not. We don't even care, because we're so far into the dating market. We're more marketable in the dating market than black women. You could look at the statistics. I just talked about one of the four black women getting married with anybody. So that right there shuts it down. You can't even get people to marry you. How you gonna sit here and talk bad about us? That's the problem. Right there. The finance of negativity that they throw on mainly black men. And it becomes straight up jealousy when they see a brother prominent like myself with a career with another woman on the side that's non-black. Oh, you should see their faces. They not happy when they see me coming through, but I don't owe y'all nothing. I don't owe you nothing. So when you come correct, then you can honor the respect of black men. But until then, y'all gonna meet the lonely end. I'm gonna repeat that again. When you come correct, then you will get respect from the black man. Until then, for all these baddies that don't want to be married, you're gonna have a lonely end. Okay? That's exactly what's about to pop off. Because yeah, you can get a man, but can you keep one? See, a lot of black women gotta understand they're the highest rate of not keeping black man or man in period. I'm not even gonna say that. Man, period. They're the highest rate of not keeping man at all. And you wonder why. And now, we ain't just talking about black man, we talking about any man. Why is it that none of these other men who have all of this that they going, where they're modern day, you know, 50,000 a year workers, 60,000 a year workers or above, never choose these baddies that even capable of being married? I just said it. That's why they don't choose them, because y'all really for fun. Ain't nobody taking y'all serious. Nobody taking y'all serious. Because the first thing they're gonna do is like, damn, wait, their own man don't even want them. That's why they're like, why should we waste our time? So you're gonna get a lot of that. Y'all not winning out here. When it comes down to interracial dating, black men is beating black women by 100 to 1. Y'all not winning on that interracial dating, no. Because again, all you do is get pumped and dumped. For all you black women who got something to say in the modern day world, y'all get pumped and dumped by other people and other races. Us black men, we be having women that's non-black chasing us all over the world. All over the world. Giving them the soul pole, girl. So y'all can't compete with us. It ain't no competition, really, because y'all lost already. That's an easy come up right there for us. That's why y'all get ignored most of the time. That's why black men is, like myself, we be like, you know what? I ain't about to deal with this. You can be right, but get lonely and live wrong at the end. So you be right for how you feel. Because again, it's all about facts when you being black. And when you look at the percentages and facts, y'all the least desirable ones to be married. I mean, excuse me, the least, I'm sorry, the least desirable ones to be married, because y'all don't bring marriageable things. So it doesn't really affect a black man. Since a black man, we can go and make another family without you. I'm just being real with you. We can ignore all that little crap y'all got going. You know, this baddie and can't be married, and be like, I'm gonna find somebody that got a head on straight, will listen to me, have everything intact as far as being a prominent housewife, and y'all can have it. Hey, I remember one thing, and I got to big up Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul. That brother was on point. One thing he said, and I'm gonna clarify in my own way. He talked about how it's sad in the community because the women really believe in this hocus pocus, right? But I'm not saying what he's saying because I'm paraphrasing. But I got my own way of looking at the whole grand scheme of things. Women have GTGW. What's GTGW? Go to the grave with type mentalities. That's not gonna help you. That's why y'all losing right now, boo. That's why y'all losing. In the dating market, yeah, hell losing. Ain't nobody gonna want you. Ain't nobody gonna want to marry you. That's why you the lowest. Again, you talking about facts. If you black, we talking about facts. You're not talking about something I made up. You're not talking about comic book villains and heroes. We talking about right now, though. So when you look at the pathology of a modern day black woman, they always have this, unrealistic list of a black man or who they perceive to be the boss or owner, big shot. When in reality, those type of guys is not looking your way because you ain't offering nothing to the table. Because if you say it's your looks, trust me, it's somebody that look and do pretty much what we want. So that's not gonna help you neither. Y'all have lost the way. Modern day black women, black modern day women, have lost the way of the relationship of the modern day black men. That's why it's different now. Because that's the reason why you see a whole lot of single mothers lonely in the end. Because they never prioritized what was the biggest thing for the black builders of America back in the early 1900s. It doesn't, marriage to them is almost like it's a it's a flaunting thing. It's not, they don't take marriage serious like they did back in the days. It doesn't really resonate with them like that. It's for show. It's not, you know, it's like for the homegirls, the cousins, the mamas, the aunties, or whoever. It's really a show. It's not really, it doesn't hit the same as the previous black women back in the days had, and their mindset was realistic, more realistic than these women. That's the real truth of it all. Because if you listen to these modern day black women, they have the most unrealistic expectations for themselves. If you notice, you can ask any black woman right now, modern day black woman, what you call yourself. If they say they a baddie, and I'm not saying they ain't none, but if they say they a baddie, not all of them baddies, all right? 1 to 10, what number are you? If they say 10 with no hesitation, and they're not really a baddie, you can then say, if you men are listening, all right, and I know the women gonna be like, oh, well, it's the truth. You can say that, yes, that's why we have a problem in the black community right now. That's why we have it. Because if you really look at the situation, it is hurting the fact that the facts is there. It's there. Not everybody tends. Not everybody tends. Not everybody. Not all black women are tens. That's impossible. Okay? Y'all have to really listen to the judgment of man and stop listening to a bunch of single women. Again, they're gonna lead you straight lonely in the end. So when you listen to someone who's never won, who's never been married, A, B, ain't never kept a man, you listening to a loser. You're not listening to a winner. And that goes for all you modern day black women. You listen to anybody who does not have a husband, who is not really down for the cause and relationship like that and all. You're listening to a loser. They teaching you to go to the grave. But I told you about going to the grave, lonely in that way. So don't listen to somebody who ain't got no damn man or even a husband. And I mean, you got to listen to those who got it, not somebody who don't. And there's a whole lot of single black modern day women. So majority of y'all is not doing good coaching. You know, I don't care who it is. I don't care what they say. Where your man at? If they ain't got it, don't even listen to them. I don't care if they got money. I don't care if they been on any type of news. It don't matter. Be smart and look for the dude. Because if the dude ain't in the picture, y'all women better keep going. Because she gonna lead you to a path of loneliness. I'm just saying, and you ain't gotta listen to me. I'm known. Now listen to me. Just look around. How many angry black women there is in the modern day world? Y'all better realize that time is on. It's not on no one side, but it's really against good looking women. So we're gonna get back to why black women are the lowest to be married, because they rather be baddies. Now, for all you baddies out there, black women that's baddies. The only thing y'all got against y'all, not that you can't, you don't just get along with black men, no, but also time. Time is the biggest equalizer to anybody in the world. Why would I say that? Well, let's press rewind. Time, it makes people change. You're not gonna look the same 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 25 years from now, 30 years from now, 35 years from now, 40 years from now. And I'm gonna stop right there because the wall hit y'all sometimes earlier than 35. If you're in the range of 20 all the way up to 35, the wall probably already hit you. You ain't got no man, you ain't married, it's over with. You just got it came head first. Some of the black women modern day have hit the wall before 35. And you know what I mean? That means you belong to the streets. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. If you have the street mentality and you ain't won in relationships, you constantly losing. That means you need to relearn everything you've been learning. Stop listening to them single women because they only give you the ending of being lonely. And get with someone who's already been married. And you know, I love church, so I go to church. I pray to the Lord. So I was raised as a Baptist, so get to somewhere where it's congregated black folks who really devote themselves to the Lord and try to get some game from it. Because the rest of y'all seem so sad. Y'all rather be baddies than get married. Think about that. And that's all I really got to say. I'm going to end the chat. On to the next video.